www.imamhusseincharity.com.
السلام عليكم، أنا إبراهيم عمري 6. حتى أنا ودي التربية واشتاق له. ظل يشرب حبوب، نوبة طلع تدرن، نوبة مات. أنا أريد طيارة بالعيد مثلا، أي شيء. طيارة هاي الطيارة من هاي مثلا، أي طيارة. هاي طيارة الرفع بالسماء تتنزل مثلا، أي طيارة أخذها.
Little Ibrahim here wanted a drone. Thanks to Make the World Come True and your donations, we got him a drone.
This Eid, let's show orphans that they are not alone. Your contribution can help us provide them with love, care, and a memorable celebration.
كنت أقول الحمد لله والشكر إذا كان موجود أبونا، الحمد لله والشكر، لأن هو يقوم بواجبنا، هو يتحمل مسؤوليتنا، هو يتكفل عيشتنا. بس هسه الناس الخيرة وأنتم إن شاء الله ما يقطع.
أنا اسمي محمود، أبويا ميت بشر، وأنا أريد فلوس ومعايد.
لا تبكي.
Brothers and sisters, this is the reality for many families here in Karbala. Every small contribution helps. Even a single pound can make a big difference. Together, we can build a brighter future for our community and continue to contribute to the everlasting message of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. عظم الله لكم الأجر بوفاة باستشهاد our fifth Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam, and the wafat of Safir al-Hussein Muslim ibn Aqil. Condolences to all our viewers at home. Welcome again to another episode of Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I am your host, Sayyid Muthanna al-Musawi, and I am joined by my dear friend, Sheikh Ali. Ma'ash, salamun alaykum, Sheikhna.
Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullah wa adamullah ujurakum.
Wa ajurakum. Sheikhna, how are you, Sheikhna?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. It's great to be here once again opposite you and to learn as much as possible with you, Sheikhna. Of course, we have an istishhad, a martyrdom yesterday and a martyrdom today. I'd like to just give you the stage, Sheikhna, just to give a couple of words on Imam Muhammad al-Baqir and as well as Muslim ibn Aqil alayhi.
Yes, indeed, Imam al-Baqir salamullah alayhi, from both sides, he is Alawi, in other words, from Imam al-Hassan and Imam Hussein salamullah alayhima, Sayyid from both sides, through his mother and his father salamullah alayhima. And of course, the importance of Imam Baqir alayhi salam, his role, that he was the one who split the knowledge or spread the knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why he was called al-Baqir. Baqir means or the Baqir al-ilm, the one who expects and splits knowledge.
Okay.
And goes deep and nurtures students, and that's what he did. Salamullah alayhi. Because in the time of the pre-Imams era, it was all oppression, suppression against the Alawites, the Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhi, from Imam al-Hassan side, Imam Hussein side. So there was no opportunity for Ahlul Bayt to be able to spread the knowledge until there was a conflict between the Umayyads themselves for the Khilafah and so-called Khilafah, and with the Abbasids. So that gave opportunity and time for the Imam to spread the knowledge of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And of course, we come to Muslim Aqil salamullah alayhi, also He was the one who was in the battlefield, preparing for Ashura, preparing for Karbala. And of course, he was amongst the first martyrs before Karbala, preparing for the uprising of Imam Hussein salamullah alayh against Yazid and the tyrants of Bani Umayyah. And this shows that there was a balance in Ahlul Bayt's legacy. Sometimes they had to be in the battlefield and fight with the enemies, and sometimes they had to spread the knowledge of Rasulullah, of the Quran, of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. So it's a balance that they've created, that sometimes they have to be in the battlefield, like Imam Ali alayhi salam, in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in Khaybar, in Uhud, in Badr. And after he took the Khilafah, the Nahj Balagha is very clear. His sermons in Kufa, nurturing students, nurturing believers, pious believers, and of course he also participated in the 3 internal wars in Jamal, Safin, and Nahrawan as well. So yes, there was a balance between defending Islam in the battlefield and spreading the Islam in the mosques and in the institutions in which they were able to deliver this message till today. Walillah alhamd.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna, for that very nice lesson. To the dear viewers at home, as you know, this is, after all, Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. And for us to discuss these topics, all you need to do is send in your questions. Of course, to send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515-0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, 0741 509 2155, or for a quick shortcut, scan the QR code, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And inshallah, with your questions together, we can learn as much as possible as the Sheikh answers your questions, and we can all increase our knowledge on the Ahlul Bayt, on our deen, on our faith, gain as much knowledge, learn as much as possible on the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and get closer to the Ahlul Bayt, to Islam, and to be part of Shi'at Ali alayhi salam. Shaykhna, let us begin with the questions from YouTube. When being in ruku', should you look between your feet or at the turba?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. When the one is in the state of ruku' may look between his feet and not on the turba, and that lowers the gaze in somehow, so that you would be in a state of khushu' and khudu', in humbleness, humility before Allah Azza wa Jalla. That's the reason for it. So rather than just looking straight or looking at somewhere else, to be, even the eyes should be in a state of humility, humbleness, khushu', and to look down at one's feet. Yes.
Okay, understood. And is that the same when one's in sujood?
Yeah, same thing. So to lower a bit towards looking to the side of your nose, for example. Again, that's what we mentioned. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. Moving on from YouTube, Salaam alaikum, Sheikhna. May I know why Sunni tashahhud is different from Shia, and who changed it from the original one?
As I've said, we take it from Ahlul Bayt and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Of course, they have their own fiqh, they made their own way of salah, of hajj, other rituals. So they changed a lot with this regard. Even the tashahhud, they've changed it. In the at-tahiyyat wa salam and so forth, they mentioned specific phrase for it. No, we take it from Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt salamullah. And Imam Sadiq, practically he taught one of his companions, ashab, how to pray exactly. And he mentioned, step by step how to perform the ruku', the sujood, the wordings, the dhikr that mentioned. All is mentioned in that hadith, famous hadith.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, is playing sports on the day of istishhad disrespecting the Imam?
You have to see in terms of the day of istishhad, is it breaching the sanctity or is it just normal thing to do? So it depends. You have to see the environment, the situation. Yeah. So it depends really. Otherwise, Ashura is the most important day in terms of The hadith mentions that to not to get involved in business, for example, work, and other
Okay.
daily chores, let's say.
Mhm.
So that's the focus on Ashura particularly.
Okay. And it doesn't mention any of the other istishhad or anything?
I haven't seen. I
Okay.
haven't read, yeah.
Okay, understood, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And to our dear viewers at home, we are roughly 10 minutes into the episode. For those that are tuning in, just a quick reminder, do send in your questions. After all, this show is all about learning as much as possible, gaining as much knowledge as possible. If you have any gaps in your knowledge, send in your questions, and inshallah the Sheikh can reaffirm those gaps and maybe can help you with those, and you can learn as much as possible as am I, as I sit opposite him and learn as much as I can. And I get closer to my deen, to my faith, and to the Ahlul Bayt alayhum as-salam. To send in your questions, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, send in your questions with the WhatsApp number, or on YouTube, send in your questions in the comment section, and inshallah together we can learn as much as possible. Sheikhna, carrying on. From YouTube, I heard that in wudu one should wipe the tips of his toes. But what if it causes movement? Is the wudu still valid?
No, if the movement is just minor, it should be fine. So make sure that your hand is wiping and moving and not your feet. So minor movement should be fine, inshallah.
Okay, minor. Okay,
Minor,
understood.
yeah.
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, is going to Mecca more important than going to Karbala?
If it's your first Hajj, wajib Hajj, no, you have to go to Mecca first.
Okay.
And you're capable, you are mustati', as the Quran mentions, man istata'a ilayhi sabila, then it becomes wajib on you to go to Mecca. And of course, the ziyarah of Rasulullah in Medina as well, very important as well, and the baqi' of Ahl Bayt, the 4 Imams of Ahl Bayt, salamullah alayhim. Also, Karbala, very important, very encouraged again. So if you can in somehow balance between these 2 locations, that would be great, of course.
Okay.
Karbala is more emphasized for compared to Mustahab, Umrah and Hajj.
Okay, understood. Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from YouTube, if one did not wash his hands 2 times before washing the face in wudu, is his wudu valid?
Yes, because that's just the etiquette and mustahabbat of the pre-wudu, in other words.
Okay. So it's not compulsory
No.
for one to do.
It begins with the washing the face, that's the compulsory.
Okay.
Onwards, yeah.
Okay, understood. But cleaning the hands, the mouth, the nose,
Rinsing it, it's all mustahab.
it's all mustahab. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And to our dear viewers at home, please do not hesitate to send in your questions. There's no need to be shy or anything like that. After all, your questions, it will be completely anonymous. No one is judging you from your question. And everyone is here to learn. Everyone that's watching at home is here to learn. So you should too, by sending in your questions, you will be able to learn as much as possible to get closer to the Ahlul Bayt alayhum as-salam. And to do that, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, 0741509 2155, or scan the QR code, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. Let us carry on. From WhatsApp, can I trust a Christian restaurant if they have a halal sign in UK?
That's not enough.
That's not enough.
You have to investigate and find out the source of the meat and chicken and so forth.
So a halal, the sign that says halal, that's not enough. But what if a certificate, a halal certificate?
Again, because he's not a Muslim, you cannot trust your halal meat take it from straight without investigation. You have to investigate him somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, understood.
Unlike if he was a Muslim, that's it. If he said it's halal, that's it.
What if it's a Muslim that works in the Christian restaurant, Sheikhna?
Again, you have to find out the source of the meat and the chicken.
Okay.
And just the staff wouldn't be enough. Because the owner or the one who's bringing it is not a Muslim.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, can we give cow as a qurbani?
I think I've mentioned 4 types of animals: the sheep, the cow, the goat, and camel. Yes.
Okay, understood. Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, can I close my eyes while I pray?
You can, but it's better to open it and look on the muhur and the turba.
On the turba.
Yes.
And also another question with regards to that, Sheikhna. With regards to prayer, what should one be thinking about exactly?
The dhikr or the surah he's reciting. So try to ponder and reflect on what's been said by yourself. And yes, just reflect and ponder on the words, the tasbih or the dhikr has been said.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, what is the stance of Islam in regards to adopting children? And if a child is with the family from his or her early days and develops a bond, do the laws of mahram and non-mahram still have to be observed?
Yes, indeed. If the child was a boy and the lady who took and fostered this child, if the boy becomes baligh, she has to wear hijab for him. And if the girl also was adopted and fostered by the father, again, she needs to wear hijab when she is at the age of adolescence and bulugh. So, yes, they are non-mahram if it's a girl on the father and if it's a boy on the mother. So, yeah, they have to observe the hijab issue.
Observe the hijab.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. To our dear viewers at home, as you have just seen, we are all learning as much as possible, and you can too by sending in your questions. And to send in your questions, after all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, send in your questions with the WhatsApp number, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And then, Sheikhna, carrying on from WhatsApp, can we ride wild animals like a lion?
In terms of the dealing with wild animals, what is important that there's no darar, there's no harm on yourself. And usually dealing with wild animals, there's a high risk of getting attack, bites, injuries from these animals. So if there's an issue of high risk, then one should avoid it.
Okay.
Because لا ضرر ولا ضرار في الإسلام. And you cannot allow this animal to go out that could harm
someone else.
Other people. Exactly.
Okay.
So لا ضرر ولا ضرار. That's the Islamic ruling. Basis that you cannot harm yourself in this way or harm others as well.
But Sheikhna, as sometimes around the world, of course, in many Arab countries, they have pets, and these pets can sometimes be lions. So of course, the rich people, they go ahead.
That's wrong. That's wrong. Yes.
Okay.
The wild animals should be kept in zoos, for example, and with experts, those who deal with those animals.
Okay.
Experts, they have the right tools, the right cages. They have specific guidelines. You can't just keep an animal, a wild animal in your home and
even if
nurture
it was brought up from a young age, or
still,
okay.
It's a wild animal. There's a inherited wildness in this animal.
Okay.
One day might jump on you, on your kids, kill them, eat them. Allah knows, and it happened a lot. So it's wrong to have a wild animal as a pet.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, quite an interesting question actually. It says, recently there has been a viral influencer AI trend where people create the prophetic characters in the Bible and make them do a selfie and speak to a camera about a story related in the Bible. Is this allowed for us to do for our imams?
Anything that would breach the sanctity, disrespect the imams in anyhow, with drawing a picture, for example, or a video clip, anything, that's not allowed.
Okay.
Anything that would breach the sanctity of the imam. No.
Okay. Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, as a revert, which books are recommended to read, and are there German books?
I'm not sure about the translations of the Islamic books to German, but he needs or she needs to find out initially what is available in German language first.
Okay.
Because I can't give you titles and you can't find
the
language you want, so that's difficult. So try to find Shia books that say in German. May Allah Azza wa Jal give you, the option to be able to find the right books, inshallah.
What about Sheikhna? Well, they've mentioned that they are a revert. What books would you recommend for them to read?
I don't know if they have it in German language, but in overall, to start with, the life of the Ma'asumin Salamullah alayhim, Muntaha al-Amal, I think, by Sheikh Abbas Qumi rahmatullah alayh. The life of the 14 Ma'asum alayhim salam, brief I think two or three volumes of the book, 2 volumes of this book, to start with the life of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, from Rasulullah to the awaited Imam al-Mahdi salamullah alayhi wa ajjallahu farajahu al-sharif. And then you have the Risala Amaliya, the Islamic ruling of the marājiʿ that you start to follow, again to read what is haram, what is wajib. These are the main 2 important books.
Okay.
The life of the Ma'sumin,
Yeah.
the haram and the halal, and then gradually you move towards reading hadith books like Al-Kafi and such like.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, does God have feet, as we see Sunnis say that God have a big foot?
Had they followed Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they would have not believed in such a wrong belief.
Yeah.
When Quran is saying, "Laysa kamithlihi shay," nothing is like him. So when you go back to the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt, Kitab Allah wa itrati Ahlul Bayti, this famous hadith that would lead towards believing in that there's nothing like Allah. He's a creator and you are the creation. A creator cannot be like the creation. A creator cannot have legs and feet and hands and so forth. That's wrong. That this belief came from the Ahlul Kitab, sadly. So when you negate and ignore Ahlul Bayt, yes, you're going to take your ahkam and your belief from the non-Muslims, and that's something we witnessed for the past centuries. Gradually, yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. Honestly, it's quite shocking for them to think such a thing. Of course, over here on Ahkam SOS, we learn as much as possible, and we don't learn such things that are weird and don't really make sense. So if you would like to learn stuff that do make sense, and that is about the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and about our deen, and about our religion, and to be part of Shi'at Imam al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, all you need to do is send in your questions and understand more about your faith, about your religion, and learn more about the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. To do that, all you need to do is call in with the number shown below over here, send in your questions with the WhatsApp number, and if you're watching on YouTube, send in your questions there. Carrying on, Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, some trading and manufacturing companies get loans from private or state banks in Muslim countries and also from other non-Muslim institutions with the condition of interest. And they also earn interest on the deposits they leave in those banks. Are we allowed to buy shares from these companies or be partners in their ventures?
In the Muslim countries, you have to go back to the marājiʿ that you follow, Ahkam SOS, and ask for permission with this regard, specifically.
Okay.
You need permission from marājiʿ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, understood. So, but if it's just to do, so they're not going to any non-Muslim company.
Yeah, it's a Muslim company, that's why they need permission to get the interest.
Okay.
Or to pay the interest. You have to
Okay.
go back to the marājiʿ you follow in this regard.
Okay, understood.
It needs permission.
Yeah, it needs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, Salaam alaikum, Sheikh.
As-salam.
Can I pray Salat al-Wahsha while I'm driving for a mayyit?
Ayatollah Shirazi mentions that you can pray the mustahabbat, yes, while walking, while driving, while, let's say, sitting. That's allowed. But other marājiʿ, I'm not sure if they would allow. Some may not. But again, it depends on the marājiʿ you follow. But most of them have said that some salah you can pray, for example, while sitting. For example, you sit on the chair and pray. But as I've said, you have to see other marājiʿ with this regard.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And to our dear viewers at home, we will now be going on a break. Of course, during the break, do send in your questions. Do think questions and send them in. And inshallah, we see you after the break. But before that, just wait 1 second. I believe the Sheikh has something he'd like to teach us. Sheikhna.
Yes, as we approach towards the day of Arafah, which is tomorrow, inshallah, a blessed day, millions are in the land of Arafah and, of course, the land of Karbala as well. Zawar al-Hussein salamullah alayh. The first amal is to do ghusl by the noon time.
Okay.
Just by the noon time. or before that. And then we have Ziyarat al-Hussein alayhi salam. Again, it's a great opportunity for those who are in Karbala. If no, you can't, then you can do a ziyarah from away, from afar. And also it's mustahab, if it doesn't affect your a'mal, to fast the day of Arafah if you can. Otherwise, well, a'mal is more important to do. So if you can't, then you can just concentrate on the a'mal.
Okay.
Reciting Ziyarat al-Hussein salamullah alayh, reciting Dua Arafah by the Imam salamullah alayh, Dua Arafah, and there's, I think, 4 rak'ah salah with 50 Qul Huwallahu in each rak'ah as well.
Okay.
So go back again to Mafatih al-Jinan to see list of a'mal to be done, inshallah, on this blessed day.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. Thank you very much. And to our dear viewers at home, as I have just mentioned, we will now be going on a break. Do send in your questions, and inshallah the Sheikh will be here to answer them after the break.
For those interested in an Islamic law book by Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi, please WhatsApp the Ahkam SOS team at the following number to place your order today: +44 7415 09 2155. The Islamic law book, available exclusively in hard copy, contains religious questions answered by Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq Al-Shirazi. Order your hard copy today.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of
Is it
scholars at
permissible to
home.
plant trees by or
Was
over
Islam
the graves?
established based on peace and
Is it permissible
non-violence?
to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim
Is there
countries?
an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 09 2155.
For those interested,
Assalamu alaikum, welcome back after the break to Ahkam SOS, the show where we discuss various Islamic topics, practices and principles. I'm your host Sayyid Muthanna Al-Musawi. If you did not tune in for the first part of the episode, of course this is the second part of the episode, so do send in your questions. I hope that during the break you managed to send in your questions. If you have not yet done so, do send them in now with the numbers shown below. You can call in with this number and you can send in your questions with this number on WhatsApp, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. Carrying on with the questions, Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, who is a kathir al-safar?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Somebody who travels often, let's say 3 times a week for work outside his city, outside his hometown, let's say. And he travels for work and he comes back. In this case, this individual becomes kathir al-safar, which means like a taxi driver. Or let's say somebody who has a shuttle or bus between cities. This individual needs to complete his fast and pray full in his trips when he goes there.
Okay, this is only during Ramadan?
For the fasting, yes. For the
fasting.
month of Ramadan. And for the whole year, pray
and
full.
For Salat.
Yeah, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from YouTube, is it a sin to curse the wife of the Prophet? And if yes or no, could you explain why and on which basis, please?
Someone who wages the war against the 4th caliph, according to Ahlul Sunnah belief, that Imam Ali alayhi salam was the 4th caliph, and he wages a war, or she wages a war against the 4th caliph, and causes bloodshed in Basra, in the famous and notorious Battle of Camel, Harb al-Jamal. Would this individual not deserve to be cursed? Causing bloodshed and death and injuries and widows and orphans. The Quran in Surah Tahrim, he says, in tatuba, those 2 women, فَقَدْ صَغَتْ قُلُوبُكُمَا. If you repent to Allah, but it's too late, your hearts were deviated. Sagat in past tense. You've gone, that's it. You've lost it. With this Battle of Camel and the aftermath of this Battle of Camel, they've lost it. They were deviated. Like, Quran gives example. The wife of Nuh and Lut. فَخَانَتَاهُمَا, the Quran says. They betrayed those two wives of the two prophets. They betrayed the husbands who were prophets of Allah. They betrayed them. And then we told them to go into fire, ادخل النار مع الداخلين, so to go inside the fire. She's just a normal woman. Yes, she got this prestige or this some kind of, let's say, respect because she became the wife of the Prophet. But she is not infallible. She is fallible. So this allows her to commit, by her free will, to commit sins and crimes. And they both did so, especially in the Battle of Camel. It was a crime that they led this war to allow for killing over 20,000 Sahabi and Tabi'i. Now, how much they respect the Sahaba?
Yeah.
Who caused your Sahaba to be killed and their Tabi'i to be killed? It's this lady with their two assistants as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Two Sahaba assistants. So, La'an is against those who wage war against the Khalifa and the Imam of their time.
Yeah, of course. Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, when the doctors cannot find a medical explanation for a health issue, for example, excessive bleeding from tooth extraction for a whole day, does it mean there is a spiritual reason for it? For example, black magic?
No, there's no such a thing at all. No.
Okay, thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, if I hold my food in my hand but sit with my friends in a college event on the same table that has wine on it, is that okay?
No, it's not okay, because you are sitting on that dinner table where the alcohol has been served and consumed. So you have to change your seating to another table that has no alcohol and such like.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from WhatsApp, is temporary marriage allowed with Jews?
In terms of the marriage and overall, ulama differ with this regard, that can it be done with the Ahl Kitab short term or long term? We have different opinions, that some would say only short term, some would say only long term, and so forth. But anyhow, yes, with Ahl Kitab is allowed. So there's no issue with it. As a marriage, as a basis of marriage, you can, yes, with Ahl Kitab.
And with that question, Sheikhna, is Zoroastrians included within that as Ahl Kitab?
Yes, ulama today that they mention that they are part of the Ahl Kitab because they had the prophet in which they've killed, the past generation, they killed the prophet, and they had a book, a holy book, which they burnt. So they're part of the Ahl Kitab, yes, because having that prophet and the holy book.
Okay, and is that according to Sayyid Sistani as well?
Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from YouTube, a follow-up question to the question about the wife of the Prophet. It says, can it not be that she repented afterwards?
According to one of the Shia ulama, when he went to debate to one of the Sunni ulama, I think he was Sheikh al-Mufid, he was young in that time in Baghdad. So he said to the alim that the battle of Camel was diraya, was a reality that everyone witnessed. And her tawbah is riwayah. There's a narration, weak narration could be. There's no proof on it. There's no strong and profound evidence that she repented. The Quran says, "Sagat qulubukuma," your hearts were deviated. It means they never ever repented.
Okay.
So this is the Holy Quran. No, that's just a riwayah, if it's a riwayah. But that was a diraya, as a reality, to stand against Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam and cause bloodshed, bloodbath. That was a great crime they committed.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. Thank you very much. And to our dear viewers at home, we have roughly 10-15 minutes left of the episode, so do send in your questions before it is too late. Otherwise, you will have to wait till next week's episode, which will be on Monday at 7 p.m. So tune in for that, please. But make sure to stay tuned in this episode and to send in your questions in this episode. And to do that, all you need to do is either call in with the number shown below over here, 0203 515 0199, or send in your questions with the WhatsApp number over here, or scan the QR code for a quick shortcut. Or if you're watching on YouTube, you can send in your questions there. And inshallah, together, each and every one of us, we can learn as much as possible. Sheikhna, carrying on. from WhatsApp, how can I pray in an airplane if I don't know where the Qibla is?
You can ask the pilot, the co-pilot. Usually they have some kind of navigation, so they can easily define for you where Mecca is. Ask them, and there's always space to pray on the plane. So with being motionless and stability and everything should be observed while praying.
But Shaykhna, I've heard that with regards to that, of course, as you said, there's space in the aisle. But if you block off a place where someone needs to get to, or block off a path, is that not? Doesn't that make your salah batil?
No, it doesn't make salah batil. But make sure you choose the time in which everyone's asleep, let's say quiet, sitting after giving the first lunch, or dinner, for example. Usually after that would be quiet, so less movements.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from WhatsApp, is there a prayer or a dua to ask for forgiveness for the sins I made before I started praying, wearing the hijab and turned away from my sins?
I think there's a dua tawbah.
Dua tawbah.
By the Imam Hussein, if I'm not wrong, yeah. Dua tawbah.
Dua tawbah.
Usually they recite it in the month of Ramadan, but you can still recite in these holy nights and days, especially tonight, night of Arafah. Again, Ziyarat Hussein Salamullah alayhi, another amal. So Dua al-Kumail mentions the sins. Allahumma aghfir dhunuba allati tahtaku al-asam, tunzil al-niqam. Dua would be a good dua to start from tonight.
On this night.
Especially this night, yes. Dua al-Kumail. Yes.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from WhatsApp, how did Sayyidah Zahra wear hijab?
Yeah, there's a full description about her hijab, that she had head to toe, complete hijab, layer over layer, because she is the role model. She is the best woman of the world. She has to show the best and the complete hijab to the ladies of the world for the course of history. Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from WhatsApp, is it okay to watch women's football? No, it's not okay for the men. For the men, no. For the men, it's not. No, it's not okay. Understood. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from WhatsApp, on a spiritual level, is it a sign of punishment to not find a husband or a community after a divorce, even if I got closer to the religion after divorce? You have to find the right match. In other words, someone who also a divorcee, for example, because sometimes you might not find a person who is, let's say, if you're a male and you've divorced, you're looking for a virgin, let's say. Sometimes you won't find it. Maybe the father or the family wouldn't accept somebody who is from a divorcee background. So try to find, again, somebody who is divorced. That kind of match would, inshallah, work. And you need time, you need patience, you need dua, you need efforts to get everyone involved, the family members, friends, community. The local mosque also can help, for example. Attending the majalis would also help. Talking to those who come into the majlis from both sides, the men and the women's side. That would help a lot, inshallah. Okay, inshallah. Thank you very much, Shaykhna. And then from YouTube, the Prophet ﷺ said there would be imams until the end of time. Does this mean one cannot refer to an imam who passed away through imams in local mosques in Sunni context? No, you have to understand the meaning of the hadith and who is the imam. You have to go back again, take the hadith, this one, to the Holy Quran, when Allah says to Ibrahim, إِنِّي جَعَلِكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا, I appointed the imam. I appoint you as imam. So imam's appointment is from Allah, number one, and somebody like Ibrahim alayhi salam, to be infallible, to be Allah's vicegerent as a prophet, messenger, or vicegerent means imam, Khalifatullah ala al-ard. So it can't be normal imam, even from the Shia imams. Even the marājiʿ cannot be an imam that Allah appoints at all. So the 12 are definitely Allah's vicegerents. They represent Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the Khalifa and the imam after his demise. So it can't be just normal people. They have to be infallible, ma'soom. Infallible and chosen by Allah Azza wa Jalla through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay,
Understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And then from YouTube, I have prayed for something for about 7 years, but today someone else got that very easily. Where will those 7 years of prayers go? Will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it in the next world?
Yes, indeed, we have some narrations state that that one could see his hajj not answered in this world, but in the hereafter, and he would regret that why Allah Azza wa Jal fulfilled and answered his hajat in dunya. Rather, would it been better not to be answered until the hereafter, because the reward in hereafter would be greater and greater than this dunya. Yes, Allah may answer a couple of hajat in this dunya, but if He didn't answer, then know that in hereafter it would be greater and greater rewards.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much, Sheikhna. And thank you very much for answering all the questions with us. And thank you very much to all our dear viewers at home for tuning in and being with us and learning as much as possible together. We do apologize and we are very, very sorry if we didn't manage to answer your questions. Please do send in your questions on our next episode, which will be on Monday at 7 p.m. inshallah. Do also follow us on our social media. We'll show up below now on social media at Imam Hussein TV 3 on our YouTube and at Ahkam SOS on our Instagram for all exclusive content. Also another link down below, www.imamhussein3.tv/donate, which is where you can support the Imam Hussein TV 3 today. With your donations, it will go towards and contribute towards the many different programs and many different shows that you see here on the channel. And inshallah, you can be a part of the mission that is Imam Hussein TV 3. I have been your host, Sayyid Muthanna Al-Musawi. This has been Ahkam SOS, and inshallah, we see you on our next episode. في أمان الله.
ثلاث عباس عمره 7 سنين، بابا ميت مستقل بابا، أريد بابا بالعد يشتري لي سيارة.
Son had wanted an SUV, and thanks to your donations, we made his dua come true with Imam Hussein charity. Look how happy he is. A smile like that costs nothing, and for these guys, it's priceless.
Let's make sure no orphan feels left out this Eid. Donate to our campaign and help us bring a smile to their faces.
This is your generosity come to life. Our team in Karbala are busy assembling and delivering iftar packs with your donations. Witness the impact of your support as we reach out to feed the orphans, the vulnerable and the needy with 100,000 meals this Ramadan. We don't want to stop here. Please continue to contribute in helping to make a world of difference. Support Imam Hussein charity today in Africa, Iraq and Afghanistan. www.imamhusseincharity.com.
السلام عليكم، أنا إبراهيم عمري 6. حتى أنا وديت تربية واشتاق لي. ضل يشرب حبوب نوبة طلع تدرن نوبة مات. أنا أريد طيارة بالعيد مثلا أي شيء. طيارة هاي الطيارة من هاي مثلا أي طيارة هاي طيارة الرفع بالسماء تتنزل مثلا أي طيارة أخذ.
Little Ibrahim here wanted a drone. Thanks to Make the World Come True and your donations, we got him a drone.
This Eid, let's show orphans that they are not alone. Your contribution can help us provide them with love, care, and a memorable celebration.
كنت أقول الحمد لله والشكر إذا كان موجود. إذا كان موجود أبونا الحمد لله والشكر، لأن هو يقوم بواجبنا، هو يتحمل مسؤوليتنا، هو يتكفل عيشتنا. بس هسه الناس الخيرة وأنتم إن شاء الله ما يقطع.